Hey everybody, and welcome back to the TobanTalks podcast. I'm Max Reed. I'll be your host. This episode, we're going to be talking about the concerts that happened over on the 9th and 10th, specifically the Def Leppard one. That's more my forte, but we'll make some mentions to the Country Thunder one that happened that headlined with Riley Green. So Country Thunder happened on July 10th. The people who showed up for that, headliner was Riley Green and Tyler Hubbard, and with guests are Nate Smith and Madeline Merlo. By the sounds of it, there's a lot of turnout. If anyone went, please let us know how it went, what you saw, how it seemed loud, seemed fun, and seemed like a lot of people had a good time. So if you went, please let us know. But the rock scene is a little bit more in my domain. Def Leppard came to town on the 10th. Toque and Foreigner were their openers, along with Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. I love Joan Jett. I like Def Leppard too. I've been following Def Leppard for a while. A very impressive band. If everyone knows the story of the drummer, I'm a drummer myself, so it's an amazing story and something to kind of follow and keep track of. So we'll kind of go through each of the openers and each of the sets for the Rock and Thunder specifically. I'll take us through the set lists, the lineups, and a little bit of history from some of the bands. So first up, Toque opened up for the night. For those who don't know, Toque is a Canadian rock band. They just do their own original stuff, but they're quite well recognized for their covers. A super group. We'll go into the band members in a bit. I didn't know much about Toque going into this. I knew that they existed. I knew they were Canadian, and I knew some of the covers that they've done, but their history is way more than what I could have anticipated kind of going into it. But get ahead of myself a little bit there. Their set list that they had, some of the big hits were Never Gonna Be Enough for You, one of their originals, same as Up to You. That was a mainstay of their kind of original list. Some of the covers were Sunglasses at Night by Corey Hart. Personal favorite of mine. I really like that song. Ironic by Alanis Morissette. Tom Sawyer by Rush. Love Rush. Big Rush fan. Big Neil Peart fan. And one of the other covers was The Boys in the Bright White Sports Car by Trooper, another Canadian band. All Canadian. That seems to be their shtick. They are Canadian rock, great Canadian music, and they cover Canadian artists and do great jobs with those covers as well. They've been internationally recognized, gone around the world with the likes of Slash from Guns N' Roses. They've done things overseas in some tour sets. It's quite amazing. Some of their lineup, it started in 2012. Their lineup has stayed the same the whole time. There's Todd Kearns, their vocalist, guitars, and some bass. We got Brent Fitz, their drummers and some bass. Shane Gallass, also a drummer. Corey Churko, guitars and vocals. And they all met at it was a charity event that was happening in Winnipeg where they all got together and played covers for kind of the first time together. And through that meeting and through that event, they decided, hey, we're gonna stick this out. We're gonna see where we could go with this, and go with it. They did. Each one has a very interesting background in and of themselves. Todd Kearns started the alt-rock band, the Canadian alt-rock band, The Age of Electric. And then in 2010, he joined up with Slash, and they eventually became Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. Saskatchewan born, straight out of Canada, playing internationally with Guns N' Roses fame Slash. That's so impressive. Touring worldwide with such an icon and such a well-known name must be the highlight of his life. He still does play with him, but yeah, like going through their history and seeing how many. There's a few others that played with Slash as well. it's so impressive to see how far these Canadians have gone, even locally. We have Brent Fitz, born in Winnipeg, toured across Canada with Streetheart, and he also tours with Slash to this day. So impressive to know that a Winnipeg artist, and for anyone who's aspiring to be a rock artist or just music artist in general, that greatness literally spawns from anywhere. Saskatchewan, Manitoba, all around Canada, and it can grow into such a famed band that tours with Def Leppard and comes back home. The other members, we got Shane Gallass. He played with a Japanese band called Bees. It's a B''Z, but it's pronounced Bees. He joined them in 2002, but he has live credits with Slash. You're probably going to notice a bit of a theme here with Slash, but also with Nickelback. Obviously, another well-known Canadian band, and quite impressive to see how far that goes. And we also have Corey Churko, who played with Shania Twain at the Vancouver Super Bowl. That was pretty crazy when I figured that out. And he played with Kelly Clarkson as well, and he was playing with Shania Twain and on and off with Kelly Clarkson for 20 years. So he was a musical director for the Super Bowl as well. So that's crazy to me. Obviously, when you host an event like the Super Bowl in a country, you want to get a musical director that probably knows that group, that probably knows those people. So Canadian pick, obvious choice. But to have toured with someone like Shania Twain for 20 some odd years, and then with Kelly Clarkson on the side as well, that's just, boom. Blew my mind, because I knew of these guys, and I've seen them pop up on YouTube, pop up on Spotify, whatever, and I've checked them out. I'm like, oh yeah, good covers, like really, really great musicians. But I thought it was just kind of that. And then after they came through, I did a little bit of digging into it, and yeah, such an impressive amount of talent and stage presence from this band. It was really impressive to see how far that these guys have come from the days of playing in Winnipeg at charities and forming into this super group, quite literally. Then to follow up, we got Foreigner. Their set list included some of their big hits: Jukebox Hero, Feels Like the First Time, Cold as Ice, I Want to Know What Love Is. Would have been great to see. The original lineup has kind of has petered out a little bit, unfortunately. The only one that is kind of still sticking around is Mick Jones, but to this day, I think it's kind of up in the air if he's still touring. He's still part of the band. If they're making music, then he's still definitely a part of that and recording. But it seems that touring is starting to maybe go a little bit by the wayside. I mean, Foreigner's been around for how long? Can't really blame people for wanting to hang up the cape, retire, but still cool that he's sticking with the band and still sticking with the creative process, and kind of blossoming Foreigner into the band it is now with the kind of new lineup we have. But for anyone who doesn't know, we'll give a little bit of a short history of Foreigner. They first formed in 1976 with Mick Jones, like I said, ex-King Crimson Ian MacDonald, and those two are both from Brighton, and then an American singer named Lou Gramm. The OG lineup also included a bassist, Egg Gagliand, drummer Dennis Elliott, and on the keyboards, Al Greenwood. And the funny thing I find, some people who are fans of Foreigner probably already know this, the name Foreigner comes from the idea that there are 3 British players and 3 American players, so they're both foreign to each other's countries. It's like a split down the middle. It's a fun little nod to their lineup. There was apparently Foreigner was a great set. Really seemed to bring out a lot of the people. Really seemed to bring up a lot of the energy when they played. The floor right in front of the stage seemed to really kind of flood with people once Foreigner came out and started performing. That would have been a great thing, great set to see. I haven't followed Foreigner too heavily, but obviously there's certain songs that everyone's going to know by them. They're so I guess, ingrained into rock culture at this point that it's a song comes on of them, Jukebox Hero, or I Want to Know What Love Is, and you're going to know who it is, obviously. And then next was the set I would have liked to see the most, which is Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. They had some headliners, Cherry Bomb, a personal favorite of mine. I love the song Cherry Bomb. Change the World, Bad Reputation, and of course, I Love Rock and Roll. Well, probably the biggest hit Joan Jett has put out. Did insane numbers. I believe I wrote them down here. Where are we? Yeah. I Love Rock and Roll peaked at number 2 on Billboard 200, the title track of the album I Love Rock and Roll, and stayed in the top charts internationally for 7 weeks. That is awesome. It came after a time where, so Joan Jett co-founded the Runaways back in 1975 and stayed with them for 4 years, and with them released 4 albums. And then after, she went solo and tried to get some signings with some record labels along with her producer Kenny Laguna. No one stuck. No one seemed to really sign on with them, and they're like, we're going solo. We're going to make our own record label, the Blackhearts, obviously where the name comes from. And the first album they put out cracked the top 200. It was a self-titled album. And then the second time around, the second album they released is I Love Rock and Roll, which going from just breaking into the top 200, which is impressive in its own right. Don't get me wrong, that is insane, especially for like a debut solo project, is immense. But going from breaking into the top 200 to like topping the charts with a song like I Love Rock and Roll, so impressive. And a big reason why I like Joan Jett is the talent and the musicianship behind it all, and the creativeness, and the closest she has with the band. Their performance was very energetic, very lively, and you can really tell that this group has like been through the works, that has done the time, and has really honed their craft to where it is at right now. Easily the set I would have loved to see the most. Def Leppard obviously way up there too, because who wouldn't want to see Def Leppard live? But yeah, Joan Jett has been a favorite of mine for a while, especially with their cover of Cherry Bomb. I guess it's kind of synonymous with them now anyways. But I personally love that song. And in 2015, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I can't remember the year, but after I Love Rock and Roll came out, it was a while after, several years, it was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. So they have really cemented themselves in the rock and roll history. Like, who doesn't know of Joan Jett and the songs that she's put out? It's really quite impressive to see what they have done. And now on to the headliner, Def Leppard. Some of their sets list included Hysteria, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Rock of Ages, Let's Get Rocked, classics. Who doesn't know Hysteria and Pour Some Sugar on Me? Synonymous with their style of music, and really great from the little bit I was able to hear from outside the stadium. Really energetic, really put on a show. You can really tell that people were loving it, and that it was just an amazing all-around fun time. All OG members played for it, so that it would be Joe Elliott on vocals, Rick Savage on bass, Rick Allen on drums, Phil Cullen on guitar, and Vivian Campbell also on guitar. They have been labeled as one of the world's best-selling bands, with more than 100 million records sold worldwide and 2 diamond albums, which makes them one of 5 rock bands to have 2 original studio albums go diamond. And you can obviously, it is Pyromania and Hysteria that are the 2 that went diamond, and you can really tell why they're great albums, especially what happened to the drummer before Hysteria came out. And if you don't stick around, well, I'll kind of do a little bit of a deep dive on that. But to have a band of such regard come through Winnipeg for a probably a once in a lifetime rock event is really quite something. Yeah, to see the Def Leppard would have been great. I would have really liked to see it, and the stage performance they put on apparently was right up there with some of their best. So great performance. If you were there, let us know how it went. Let us know how it's what you saw. I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear what I missed. You know, I'd love to. The FOMO kicked in a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I said at the beginning that I have immense respect for the drummer Rick Allen. For those of you that don't know, he is a drummer who plays with one arm. He lost his left arm, in a car accident. It was really quite a blow to the band that, you know, he had to figure out. It was actually, it's sad to say, because obviously it's a very traumatic moment in his life, but his progress to get back to where he got is immensely interesting. The band never tried to seek out another drummer during his recovery time, and then he would practice in his own studio and try and find ways to make his feet play what he could no longer play without his arm. And he, him along with some other people, basically built this custom electronic kit where his feet could play triggers that would trigger what his left arm wouldn't be able to play anymore. And when he finally fully recovered from all this and practiced to the point where he's like, I'm back, he gathered the band together and they played a Led Zeppelin song called When the Levee Breaks. And it was just this wow moment for the whole band to be like, there was no need to worry. Like, we're back. We're so back. And the album that came out after he lost his arm and recovered is Hysteria, which is so crazy, seeing as it, like, Pour Some Sugar on Me was on Hysteria, and the whole album has a whole slew of accolades that I could spend time going over. But the most impressive one for me was that it sat at the top charts in the UK, amongst the top, so not quite one, but not far down, for 105 weeks. That's like, what, 2 years? That's so crazy that it's like there's this worry about if the band could ever come back and if they could recover. He does. He makes a recovery, and then they put out arguably their best album. It's like the driving force that put him through his drumming, like the practicing to get back to where he was. They put it out in this song, or in this album, and yeah, you can just knowing that in hindsight, you can really feel it off the tracks, off Hysteria, that yeah, they totally rocked it and they totally killed it. And I have so much immense respect for Def Leppard, even though, you know, I'm pretty surface level on their discography. I have so much immense respect for the band, for what they went through, especially the drummer, what he went through, and just how they managed to spin right out of it and, you know, come out quite literally on top. So yeah, make me feel so much FOMO as possible. Please let me know how if you were there, how it went, because yeah, that would have been great to see. Like I said, on the July 10th, we had the Country Thunder, Riley Green, Tyler Hubbard, Nate Smith, and Madeline Merlot. Don't know as much about it, but by the sounds of it, basically the same amount of people showed up. Lots of strong energy that came out in the concert. It sounded like it was a rockin' time, to use a joke. But yeah, kind of with that, that's kind of a short episode. Like I said, I just really wanted to get that out because I love music, and I love going to and talking about music events that happen in Winnipeg, especially big ones, and things that pull people out to see their favorite bands. And with that, we'll wrap up this episode. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.